All yours.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an extra special edition of the Wrestling Forum. Tonight we are going to review the Evolution All Women's Pay-Per-View. I'm your host, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson herself, with my panel of guests, the host of Ridiculously Raw, good brother Anthony Florio, the host of Cerebral Smack Talk, our Viper, Michael Flecha, and our resident phenom, Michael Bullock. Tonight, we just witnessed the historic pay-per-view Evolution, and we're going to start off the night after. Well, they did a bunch of video packages and everything, but we're going to start off the night with our tag team of Trish Stratus and Lita versus Mickie James and Alicia Fox with Alexa Bliss at ringside. And pretty much we knew, if Alexa was there, she's going to be outside, and we did see her kind of. I mean, it wasn't a major involvement, but she did kind of get involved a little bit in it. My biggest gripe before I actually get into this is I thought the pay-per-view quality was a little lame. It looked more like a house show type quality match over a pay-per-view quality match. I mean, they didn't even light up the ramp for the ladies to come down. The Titantron was basic. I mean, it was just I thought it was a little lame compared to what we usually see on a pay-per-view quality match. So, but yeah, I thought was a very well done match. I clocked it about 10 minutes, 54 seconds. There was a lot of back and forth. Fox and James really did very good cutting the ring off several times. I mean, Lita ended up in their corner a few times and everything. And a lot of fire between Stratus and James in this whole match. So, I mean, it was a lot of... there's a lot there going on. So I'm going to give it about 3 1/4 stars. So, Florio, I'm going to toss it over to you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Dee Dee Woodson, and hello, friends, and welcome to our Evolution Recap show right here on Braves Fan 95, the home of good old MF Michael Flecha. And yeah, 11 minutes and 5 seconds is what I have on my sheet here. But I do agree with you, Dee Dee. Solid 3 to 3 1/4 stars. I'm actually going to give this maybe third best fight of the night, I think. Because there were 2 matches that I felt were better, and you're not going to believe what one of them were. That's all I'm going to say. That's how surprisingly entertaining that one was. But nonetheless, this opening match was entertaining. The live crowd was super hot for everything. And yes, Dee Dee, you're absolutely right. I mean, it had that opening match had a house show feel to it. I mean, the lights were on over the ring. And you could see that the fans were not lit up like a typical pay-per-view. So, I mean, it is a nice crowd, but that is the only real surprise about it. But but nonetheless, I mean, all 4 women worked hard. I mean, it was a little bit better than what I thought. I thought Alicia Fox being in the match was going to devalue it a bit. I really wanted to see Alexa in this match, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, a very entertaining opening match. Great way to get the crowd started, and the whole 9 yards. So outcome was never in doubt. We knew Trish and Lita were going to win, regardless of if it was Alexa and Mickie, or Foxy and Mickie. But it definitely brought back a lot of great memories for me, seeing Trish and Mickie going at it. I mean, MF and I, back in our, back when we were doing the Raw thing, our JR and King thing, if you will, whether it was the stage announce table or when they went back to ringside. I mean, it definitely had that feel. I was definitely having flashbacks. I'm sure MF was too, but but nonetheless, great way to start it off. Solid 3, maybe 3 1/4. So nothing more to say. Good old MF, Michael Flecha, come on in and admit it. When you saw Trish and Mickie going at it during this match, you were having flashbacks to when you and I were calling their matches back in the day, a la JR and King.
Oh yeah, this was not a perfect cohesive unit. There was some bickering. There was a little bit of that. You know, the besties weren't. They weren't clicking. It wasn't. There was some moments where, yeah, they were. It was definitely some great battles going on between Mickey and Trish, and Lita, and all the interactions were amazing. Even Alicia Fox, give credit where credit's due. A lot of people were kind of apprehensive about Alicia Fox and her opportunities, but she made the most of it. It worked out. This was a very good, solid match. 3 stars. Nice way to start the show. It got ample time. It got everything else. Yeah, if you really think about it, the way that with the stages set up and everything else, it almost was reminiscent of the Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia, a few weeks ago. It kind of had that kind of feel more than anything else. So, I mean, and yes, I know there's a little bit of some griping about, the ring lighting and everything else. I do know it was pretty close to a sellout. I don't know if they did sell it out at Uniondale, Long Island tonight at the Nassau Coliseum. It looked pretty packed to me. So, I mean, I think all the rumors about the poor ticket sales probably was there, but all in all, it looked, from what I saw, I thought it was fine to me. So nothing more to say. 3 stars. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this about a solid 3 stars. I mean, I thought this was a good way for this pay per view to be started. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was a little worried too, because I thought Alicia Fox was not gonna be good. I mean, so many people criticized her, but I thought she did really good in this match. So the right team definitely won. So, and yeah, I mean, it did bring back a lot of memories from 2006 when Trish Stratus and Mickie James were in the same ring. I mean, it certainly rekindled all those memories. So yeah, so the right team definitely won. So nothing more to say. 3 stars. Let's just move on to our next matchup on the docket, Dee Dee.
And the next match was the 20 women battle royal. And basically we had Naomi, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Alundra Blaze, Carmella, Selena, Kelly, Tamina, Ember Moon, Lana, Maria, Mandy Rhodes, Molly Holly, Dana Brooks, Nia Jax, Ivory, Asuka, Tori Wilson, and then, of course, Iconics, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce. And it was very interesting to see everybody pretty much gang up on the Iconics there at the beginning, so because they were the first 2 out. But your winner in this match ended up being Nia Jax. So, Florio, I'm going to toss it to you.
And let me just say how extremely happy I am that a Monday Night Raw woman won this match. Not the one I was expecting, but I'll be honest, she was on my radar. I know. I mean, Michelle McCool was in my mind. Of course, Ember Moon was my gut pick, and I thought it was going to be Ember for a bit, but no, Nia Jax gets the Duke in a very entertaining battle royale. Let me tell you. I mean, far better than what I expected. I could probably give this about 3 to 3.5. I mean, this was a very good battle royale. One of the better ones we've seen in a while. I mean, the match came down to the favorites, but one thing we missed was Zelina Vega hiding. I mean, that was very distracting. I mean, we've seen these, clunky battle royal finishes, but or I should say wonky battle royal finishes. But but nonetheless, you know, it was great to see all the legends back. You know, they all got monster pops too, well deserved. I mean, great to see Alundra Blaze and Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, Ivory, Kelly Kelly. You know, just to name a few, and you know, your current crop of Raw and SmackDown women. And all I know is if Zelina Vega had stolen that thing, we would have had to contain MF. That's all there is to say about that. Not just because she's a SmackDown girl, but one of MF's personal favorites. But not tonight, MF. I'm sorry to say, Nia Jax had her way with Miss Vega there. So no El Idolo tonight, there, buddy. I'm sorry to say, but nonetheless, congratulations, Nia Jax. And you know, like I said, as long as a Raw woman won this thing, I didn't care which Raw woman it was. Any Raw woman would do, even though Nia's had her chance before. I kind of wanted to see Ember get it, you know, to freshen things up a bit, because you know how I am about fresh faces in the main event scene, or any scene, if you will. But I guess they want to do Nia, and they want to have Nia, you know, go after the belt again. And hey, I'm cool with it. I mean, she definitely deserves another opportunity after Alexa stole it from her at Money in the Bank. So we'll have to wait and see. So 3.5. One of my 2 sleeper fights of the night. Yes, I said 2 sleeper fights of the night. So nothing more to say except MF. I mean, I know you were rooting hard for a SmackDown girl to win it, and hey, your favorite almost won it, Zelina, but Nia Jax was not to be denied.
Yeah, and I kind of felt a little underwhelmed. You know, knowing that Ember Moon was right there at the end, I kind of was pulling for Ember to win it. Unfortunately, it was Nia Jax. Look, Nia deserves the moment. She's been working through some injuries lately. I know some people, she was kind of in the doghouse, a little bit of some purgatory on, you know, for a little while. But look, at the end of the day, congratulations to Nia Jax. The irresistible force is now the next in line for whatever title she deems worthy, you know. Because she is a Monday Night Raw individual, I probably will be guessing that she will be going after the Monday Night Raw women's title, which was going to make it very interesting to see. But look, she deserves it. Congratulations, Nia Jax, and well done for every woman in the 20-woman Battle Royale. They all did an incredible job, from the short to the long run. It was a very entertaining, enjoyable match, to say the very least. This was definitely well done, to say the very least. So nothing more to say. 3 stars. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it about 3 to 3.5. I mean, this turned out to be a good battle royal. I mean, yeah, I mean, Nia Jax, she definitely deserves it. I mean, she's been going through some tough times with the injuries and getting in trouble, but now she gets another chance at the Raw Women's title. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, there were times it looked like Ember Moon was gonna do it, or even Zelina Vega, but Zelina could not overcome the brute strength of Nia Jax. I mean, yeah, it was good to see all of the legends there. Michelle McCool, Mrs. Undertaker, if I might say so. Tori Wilson, Kelly Kelly, Alundra Blaze, all the names. I mean, it was good, but I could have done without the Iconics with that with the microphones in their hands, and you guys know how I feel about them. With the microphones, they're so annoying, and I'm glad they were the first ones to go. So, yeah, congratulations, Nia Jax, and she's going to get another opportunity at the Raw Women's title somewhere down the line. So, nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the rating. It was a solid battle royal, and the layout was good. They had a invested crowd. The crowd was really into it. I mean, there was a lot going on in the match. We had all hell pretty much breaking loose. Everybody kind of going everywhere. Yeah, the Iconics were annoying coming out. Even very more annoying once they got to the ring. Glad to see them all taking them out first. Pretty much taking out the trash, as you'd say. But yeah, I was excited to see it go down to Nia Jax and Amber Moon, and I'm with Fletch. I was pulling for Amber, but Nia deserves the win, and I can't wait to see her get her rematch for the the Raw Women's Championship. So let's move on to the next match, which was the 2018 Mae Young Classic Final with Toni Storm and
Cover Anthony.
Io Shirai.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
it's close.
Yeah, that's close. That was
close.
pretty good.
So I'm going to toss it to you, Fletch.
Well, as everybody knows, Toni Storm, the 2018 Mae Young Classic winner. I am ecstatic over this. She was my pick going in the whole way through. She got to the semifinals a year ago, didn't win it. I knew when she came back for another run that there was in the back of my mind, I'm like, she's gonna win this. She's gonna win it all. Yes, there was Mia Yim. There was a whole bunch of other great people that they had in this competition, but in the back of my mind, Toni Storm was my pick to win it all, and I'm absolutely ecstatic she won this competition. What a match, what a final, man. This definitely was worthy of being on Evolution tonight. This was great to see. Great action, very good battle. Toni thought she had it with that. You could say it was like a Pearl River plunge type maneuver. The storm effect, there was the kick out, then the moonsault that was gonna be the end. The knees came up right towards the end, and then she hits her with the storm with that Pearl River plunge move. 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm wins the Mae Young Classic, and I gotta say it, another 3-star fight. This was a sleeper fight of the evening type match. This definitely was worthy of being on the show tonight. It was amazing. The psychology was actually there. I just loved it. This was great action from beginning to end. And like I said, congratulations to both women. And you could feel it. You sensed the sheer relief by both women. Tears in their eyes. They were both emotional. Toni Storm and us. I mean, there was really nothing more to say. Great match. Unbelievable battle. Congratulations, Toni Storm, winning the Mae Young Classic. 3 stars for me. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about another 3 to 3.5. I got to give kudos to both women. I mean, Io Shirai and Toni Storm really put on a show for everyone. And we all knew Toni Storm was going to win this, but you definitely got to hand it out to both women. I mean, they laid it on the line. The aerial moves were awesome. So congratulations, Toni Storm. It's on to bigger and better things for you, my dear. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Okay. It's no secret I haven't really been able to follow the Mae Young Classic, and this was definitely a very well done final match for the Mae Young. I was impressed by both of the young ladies. Congratulations to Toni Storm. I'm actually going to shoot higher than you guys, and I'm actually going to give this a 4-star because I thought these girls actually did an awesome job. They tore up the ring. They definitely, made it very, very exciting to watch. So, I'm not going to say too much more about it. I'm going to toss it over to Florio because I know he's been following this a lot more than I have.
From start to finish, Dee Dee Woodson, that's what I have been doing as far as the Mae Young Classic concerned. I saw every episode from start to finish last year. I did it again this year, and I was thoroughly entertained with each and every show. I can't quite say this was the match of the tournament. I felt the best match of the entire tournament was when Toni Storm knocked off Miko Satomura in the semifinal bout. But this was definitely in my top 10 list as far as my top matches of the Mae Young Classic goes. 3.5 to 4. I definitely agree to disagree with Dee Dee's rating there. This was a very good match, and both women I definitely feel will be stars on the main roster, but these two definitely have the talent to be stars for years to come. And, I've already started thinking about next year's Mae Young Classic because I'm sure there's going to be another one next year. Some players to keep an eye on. Of course, Io Shirai, definitely right up there. Tegan Knox, if she didn't get hurt, who knows? Maybe she could have been the one to win it. I don't know, because Michael Cole was very high on her as well. And
actually, a lot of people, there was some dirt sheets, Anthony, saying that if Tegan Knox did not get injured, there was actually talk that Tegan Knox would have been the Mae Young Classic winner.
Absolutely.
So I truly believe if she actually gets the opportunity in Mae Young Classic 2019, and if she's in it, she probably would become instantly one of the odds-on favorite, if not the odds-on favorite, to win it all.
Absolutely. She didn't get hurt on that Tope Suicida against Rhea Ripley in the quarterfinal. I mean, yeah, Toni Storm does not get that moment here tonight. So I do feel bad for that one. But hey, Toni Storm, well-deserved win. I mean, I've been very high on her as well. I love her look. I mean, she's a beautiful young woman. And, she's a throwback to the kind of girls I used to like back in the day, the rocker chicks. I mean, those were the girls I used to have a thing for back in the day. And it brings back so many great memories for me, especially in the late 90s and the 2000s. But nonetheless, well-deserved win. I mean, the right woman definitely won. I mean, even though I would not have complained if Shirai had won as well, but they're going to be future stars for years to come. And Toni Storm's in the NXT UK, so I wouldn't be surprised if down the road she becomes a UK Women's Champion, just like Kairi Sane became an NXT Women's Champion after winning the Mae Young Classic last year. So, but yeah, definitely an enjoyable match, and kudos, big ups to all 32 women who competed in the Mae Young Classic 2018. It was a joy for me to watch every single moment of it. I enjoyed every moment of it. Every show was a fun and easy watch. If you missed any of it, Dee Dee Woodson, I suggest you go over to the WWE Network and try to go out of your way to catch up on all the great action and keep an eye on and go out of your way to see that Toni Storm Miko Satomura semifinal bout. That was the show stealer for me. So, nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, let's move on to our next bout.
And that one happens to be the Riot Squad versus Sasha, Natty, and Bayley. And this was another very well done match. I was very surprised at how this match went. It was overall very good match with very few hiccups through the match. So I would say this is probably Liv Morgan's one of her best performances she's done since she's been moved up. So with Banks and Natty and Bayley winning the match, I'm going to toss it over to Bullock and let you start it off.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was another good solid match. I'll give it about 3.5 stars. I mean, and like you said, this was definitely Liv Morgan's best match since she's been on the main roster. And yeah, I mean, I thought both sides did really good, but The only gripe I have, guys, is the wrong team one here, because to me, I think this would have been the moment for the Riot Squad to finally have their moment, and in the end, it did not happen. I mean, come on, WWE. When are you going to give these three their moment in the sun, especially on the big stage like Evolution? But yet you still have them lose. I'm sorry. I'm not so happy about that. But not taking anything away from the match here. It's just that the wrong team won. So nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to give this about 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Like I said, this was a very well done match. And, they made it feel like it was fun. I mean, yeah, the Riot Squad lost. And it's kind of getting old with them losing. But, for this following that last match, I mean, it was still a good match. And, they took it as far as they could take it. And, I mean, it just, you could see that the Riot Squad is a well-oiled unit. They work together very, very well, and they proved it again tonight, even though they did lose. So I'm going to toss it over to Florio now.
This is my other sleeper fight of the night right here. 3.5 stars. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with how good this was. Another highlight from Monday Night Raw. Obviously with Nia Jax winning the Battle Royal. And then these 6 putting on a far better match than I expected. I mean, you heard what I said. I found that opinion poll last night, and this match was voted by the fans as the worst. They thought this was going to be the worst fight of the night. Oh no, this was not the worst fight of the night by any stretch. I mean, I agree. Liv Morgan, far and away her best work. Well done. Kudos to her. I mean, all 6 women worked very hard. Yes, it is sad that the Riot Squad did not go over, but you know how much they love to, give the fans that feel-good, crowd-pleasing moment. I mean, that's why they did it, Bullock. So, but I'm with you. I'm with you. So that's all I can say on that. But nonetheless, this was far better than I thought. I thought this was going to be a TV quality Monday Night Raw cutout style fight, but no. This thing ended up being far and away the sleeper fight of the night. I had no hopes for this whatsoever. I thought this was going to be a 1 to 2 star match at best. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be giving this 3.5 stars and calling it the sleeper fight of the night. Riot Squad, well done. Sasha, Bayley, Natalya, well done. The state, I mean, they obviously wanted to bring it on the big stage, and they did. They made the most of their opportunity here tonight. So, well done, and thank you, 6 ladies, for what you did in this match. Well done. Very, very much appreciated. And as a Raw guy, it's like one of those proud papa moments, That's what it is for me. So, well done, and way to represent Monday Night Raw, ladies. Way to soldier up and fight. Well done. 3.5 stars, sleeper fight of the night. MF, I mean, like I said, I thought this was going to be a TV quality fight, but I thought this was going to be like a cutout, worst fight of the night. But, oh, no. These 6 really soldiered up and fought.
Well, because these were some of the women that really wanted this pay-per-view. Natalya was one of the forefront from what I've heard. Natalya was really arcing about this. Sasha and Bayley were also excited for this opportunity. So no, they knew what was at stake. They knew what this night meant for all the women. So no, you could tell that they were gonna go all out for this tonight, and they did, and they delivered. 3.5 stars, no doubt about it. This was a tremendous match, to say the very least, and it was really a good quality, to say the very least. So nothing more to say. Dee Dee, what's in yours?
All right, and our next match is for the NXT Women's Championship, where we have I lost my notes. Give me a minute.
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. And we have a new champion in Shayna Baszler. Now, me personally, you all know how I feel about the way this match ended with, all the outside interference. And I am not a big fan of that. Even though this was a very good match, I thoroughly enjoyed it. These girls, did what NXT always does. They give you their best. But I'm sorry, I don't like the fact that we had to have these other two ladies come in and help Shayna, which we know for a fact can fight a match without help, to help her win this match. So I do have to penalize a little bit for that. So I'm going to give it to 3 1/4 stars for the match, just because she had to have her little pals come out and help her win this match. Because that, I prefer clean finishes over this kind of crap. I don't like these kind of things. So, Florio, I'm going to toss it over to you.
I couldn't agree with you more, Dee Dee Woodson. I was going to initially give this 3 3/4, but because of the outside interference and how much, and nobody hates it more than I do. You know me. I mean, back in the day, MF, you know the story. Back in the day, I used to cheer for heel stuff like that. I really did. But now that I'm the man of good faith that I am, the soldier of the Lord that I am, and all that, I'm all about fair play, integrity, and honest winning, clean finishes. So I'm going to drop this down to 3 1/4 to 3 1/2, though. It was still a very entertaining match. I kind of feel that Kairi Sane should have went over here, to be honest with you. But I guess they want to season Shayna Baszler in the Raw and the NXT Women's Division, and Dee Dee Woodson. It's Shayna Baszler, not Shayna Baszler. I mean, I kind of like that name, to be honest with you. Shayna Baszler, I like that. It's pretty cool.
Hey, I'm still coming off that 12-hour shift yesterday and 5 hours today. So
of course, no worries. But for the record, it is Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, the Submission Magician, and yeah, and there's a new move for me and Bullock to gush over now. We you know how much we love the Coquita clutch. How about the Kirabuta clutch? I mean, that's going to be a new staple of ours, and whenever Bullock and I have a Raw or SmackDown chat again. So, but nonetheless, yes, this was a well-worked match. I mean, NXT always brings it. You know they do. And you knew they were going to bring it tonight since they got the big stage. This was a terrific show, a terrific fight, I should say. And to that point, that was the show stealer. I mean, the only disappointments, Baszler winning means she's going to be stuck in NXT for the time being. I mean, she's great, and the NXT women's division is a blast, but I'm anxious to see her play. Maybe I kind of want to see her and Ronda go at it. I kind of want to see her end up on Raw and have her and Ronda Rousey. That would be hella fun. Come on. Who wouldn't want to see that? But in the meantime, it is interesting that they did have Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir get involved here, and that takes away the rating a little bit. But nonetheless, Shayna Baszler makes history, becoming the first ever 2-time NXT Women's Champion. So big moment for her. So now it's onward and upward for the NXT Women's Division. So, original rating 3 3/4, but because of the interference there, I can only give this between 3 1/4 to 3 1/2, even though it was an amazing match. So nothing more to say except that MF, in your immortal words and in your idol Gorilla Monsoon's immortal words, you know the words.
History has been made in Long Island, New York. Absolutely. Shayna Baszler, the first woman ever to become a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, winning the title here tonight. Yes, there was a little bit of some interference that does take away from the match a little bit, but this was a 3 3/4 of a star match. This was very good, very well done. I hate to say this, but I might have to call this the worst fight of the evening because of that interference. But that would be just by default. Because I think everything else was fine. This was a good matchup, great battle, to say the very least. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it about 3.25. I mean, yeah, the clunky finish with the interference from the other members of the Four Horsewomen really took away from it. I mean, this match was so good. I mean, if it weren't for the interference, I would have given this 3.75 to maybe 4 stars, but I'm sorry, I can't do that. So, but great work by both women, and yeah, it looks like she's going to be around NXT for a while, Shayna Baszler. So, yeah, so there's nothing more to say. Let's move on to our next match.
And that happens to be the SmackDown Women's title in the last woman standing match. And boy, howdy, I mean, this was almost a 30-minute match. These ladies, I mean, they gave you everything they had and more. And, you know, as we all predicted, Becky Lynch retains the title. So, Florio, I know you're the Raw guy, but you get to lead off on the SmackDown main event.
Well, I had a proud papa moment earlier this evening on this show. MF, this is your proud papa moment right here. This was the only pure SmackDown Live match on this card. And damn it to hell, as a Raw guy, it pains me to say it. Call the Long Island PD. These two ladies stole the damn show here tonight. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I'm pulling the trigger on this. 5-star classic. You heard it here first, folks. This was absolutely insane. The first ever last woman standing match on the main roster in WWE. And they just set the bar, folks. They set the bar. They set a bar for a new standard here tonight. A new standard of excellence was set here tonight. I mean, oh my gosh, where do we even start? I mean, it was perfect. I mean, the intensity, it was different compared to everything else on the show. And let me tell you something. This was Charlotte Flair's best match on the main roster. I mean, she's had some great ones. I'm struggling to think of some better matches, but I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, the main event was not even going to top it. And spoiler alert, it did not, even though it was fine. But nonetheless, 28 minutes and 40 seconds, the time I have on my notes here. I mean, if we're gonna go lower than 5, the lowest I could go was 4.5, maybe 4.5 to 5. But in my opinion, this had the feel of a 5-star classic. I said it was gonna be one going in, and they delivered in spades. The spots were absolutely sick. The commentary was top notch. Crowd was red hot, white hot for this. The IWC gets their moment. They love Becky Lynch, you know that. And if Charlotte had gone over, there would have been a riot, no doubt about it. But yes, Raw had their moments tonight, you know, with Nia winning the Battle Royal and that 6-woman tag being far better than I initially thought. But SmackDown Live, they get the ultimate bragging rights this evening because they stole the damn show with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Well done, Becky. Well done, Charlotte. And I have gained a newfound respect for Becky Lynch on this night here tonight. I'm a Charlotte guy, I will admit it. But at the end of the night, I tip my Raw cap to Becky Lynch. Well done. There's a reason why he was the number 1 draft pick. The number 1 female draft pick on SmackDown Live. That's all there is to say on that. So that's how you do it, folks. A new standard of excellence in women's wrestling was set by those two here tonight. 4.5 to a 5-star classic. Like I said in the immortal words of JBL, call the Long Island PD because these two beautiful angels stole the damn show here tonight. So MF, I give it to you. Now it's time for you to have your proud papa moment, Mr. SmackDown.
I mean, what is there to say? You know, the one thing we always talk about with SmackDown Live is that it's the land of opportunity. Tonight, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair took the opportunity that they got and they shined under the lights in one of the biggest spotlights that they ever been in, an all-women's pay-per-view, Evolution, and they raised the bar. It's a dream come true. As a SmackDown guy, I'm ecstatic. I think Paige is probably smiling somewhere tonight, saying, "That's my girls. Those are my girls." SmackDown Live delivered. It was an incredible match. 5-star classic. I can't disagree with you, Anthony Florio. Fight of the night. The best match on the card, and an unbelievable evening, to say the very least. It's truly, truly, truly was an incredible matchup. There's really nothing bad to say about it. I cannot be any more happier with what I witnessed here this evening. It was everything we were hoping for, and then some. And at the end of the evening, it felt good. It felt right. The passion, the fire, it is without a doubt the best rivalry. It was the best feud going in. We were talking about this. We were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Even some people were saying this should have been the main event of Evolution. Yes, in one way, maybe no in another, because I understand you got a high-profile match coming up with Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella, and obviously good luck to these two to try to top it, but we knew what this meant. We knew what was at stake, and at the end of the night, it was an incredible match, and one that we will definitely be talking about for a long, long, long time. 5-star classic. Maybe you could even call this probably one of the best women's matches of the year. Definitely the women's match of the year, to say the very least. And maybe, I know I might be far-fetching but this could be going down as maybe one of the greatest women matches in WWE's history. Now, I know might be a little bit of a stretch, because there's some other great matches that we've witnessed, but at least you could say the conversation is there for greatest match in WWE history, at least when it comes to the women. But we'll just have to wait and see. But this was unreal, incredible. Nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, come on in, my friend. 5-star classic, fight of the night. I'll even call it the women's match of the year. Mike?
Bullock.
I think he's distracted, and I think you may.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now I know why. Yup.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for Bullock for a little bit. I think he's gone into meltdown mode.
Oh, you ain't just whistling Dixie.
I had a feeling. All right,
You're
bro.
right, buddy.
Yeah, we gotta talk about.
All right, all right. Sorry if I'm off a little bit, but I'm sure you guys can understand why. But yeah, getting to this match. What can you say? 5-star classic. I mean, these two definitely stole the show. I mean, you got to give it up to Charlotte and Becky. They put on one hell of a match. I mean, these two have nothing to be ashamed of, and who knows? I mean, it's on to bigger and better things for Becky Lynch, and who knows what's up next for her. I mean, say what you want about Becky. I'm sure there's some who still don't like her with the antics, but who cares? I mean, you got to give it up to her and Charlotte Flair. So 5 stars. Nothing more to say. Let's just move right along.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. This is definitely a 5-star classic between these two ladies, and definitely the showstopper. Yeah, I agree. This could have been the main event, but due to how high on the food chain Ronda Rousey is, because she is UFC and, you know, has this 4-crown title now. I mean, you know, that does put her at the top here. So moving on right along, we do have the Raw main event where we had Nikki Bella with her sister versus Ronda Rousey, and the winner, as we all knew would happen, Ronda Rousey, in about a 15-minute match. So now I get to toss the Raw main event to our resident SmackDown man. So, Fletch, it's all yours.
And I gotta say, this was a very good main event. Beautifully done, well done. Nikki looked good in this match. Ronda looked great in this match, as always. And it was a solid match. It was a solid main event. Obviously, it was a little bit of a step down from after the 5-star classic that the SmackDown main event gave us with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, but still, 3 to 3.5 stars, which was definitely a great main event, solid match, and it was a perfect ending to what was an incredible night. To see all of them come back out, giving them the great moment, giving the big salute at the end of the night from all the women who performed on this show. They all should be commended. Tonight was a banner night, to say the very least. And at least for me as a broadcaster, I really thought they really delivered, and it was an incredible evening, to say the very least. Like I said, congratulations to everybody involved. Amazing, amazing, amazing evening, and a great final battle. You know, the rivalry was there. We were talking so much about it, and at the end of the day, it worked. It was definitely a great main event. Like I said, 3 to 3.5 stars is my final rating for this main event. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
What did you give it, Fletch?
3 to 3.5.
Yeah, it's another 3 to 3.5. I mean, this turned out to be a really good a good main event here. I mean, not great, but you gotta give it up to both of these. I mean, to both of them, they certainly put up a really good effort here. So so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. You pretty much touched on everything. So, Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to agree about 3.5. It was a good match, but Nikki Bella, I say this every time I see this, there is no crying in wrestling. Just because you lose the match, you don't sit there and cry like a baby. I mean, just grow up, move on. You know, I think watching Ronda, you know, slam both Nikki and Brie, I think that was one of the highlights of this match. It was, you know, it was a good way to end the pay-per-view. No, it definitely was nowhere close to what we got from Charlotte and Becky, but still, it was a good ending for the pay-per-view. Kind of a mild cool down from that match. So not much more I had to say about it. Florio, I toss it to you.
So what was the average consensus rating here? 3, 3.25? Is that about right? So
3 to 3.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give this about 3.25, to be honest. They had a very tough task having to follow Becky and Charlotte. Becky and Charlotte should have been the main event, not this. But because of the name value, that's why. 14 minutes, 15 seconds. From a match quality standpoint, you know, the match worked for what it was, and that's what counts. Becky and Charlotte should have closed the show, but of course, WWE officials viewed this bout as the bigger deal. And in their minds, Ronda Rousey winning is a happy ending, whereas they still think Becky Lynch is a heel. So, other than that, you know, solid match. You know, they worked hard, and outcome was never in doubt. We knew Ronda was going to win it. So, really nothing more to say here. 3.25 stars for me. So let's get to our overall thoughts on what ended up being a smash hit Evolution show here tonight.
And to do that, we're going to toss it straight over to Bullock.
Actually, I'm not quite ready with my ratings yet. Dee Dee, why don't you take it first?
Alrighty. I was thoroughly, impressed with how the matches went. Like I said, I wasn't real crazy about the lighting, and the Titantron was kind of bland, stuff like that. But that's more technical issues than anything else. It was a very well done pay per view, though, as far as match wise, storyline wise. Every match to a point brought it. Of course, the biggest one being, Charlotte and Becky. That was just continuing on that storyline that we've had all this time through SmackDown, and they just definitely nailed it all the way to the end. You could see the heat with them and everything. I mean, how impressed can you be with Charlotte doing a figure 8 to Becky Lynch through a ladder? And how many tables did they go through? I mean, they took each other to the limits. I mean, burying Charlotte under ladders, tables, even stealing Renee Young's chair. I mean, it was there's just so much there. You could see the whelps on Charlotte from the kendo stick. I mean, it was one heck of a match. Definitely fit the 5 stars. So definitely make sure you watch that match if any, if you watch the pay-per-view late. But I mean, every single one of the matches to a point delivered. I mean, the lowest one rating I think would have to go to NXT just because of how bad the ending was. But all in all, great pay-per-view. I'm going to hit it up with about 8 stars. So not too much more I'm going to say about it. So Florio, I'm going to toss it over to you.
8 to 8.25. Although I'm leaning more towards the 8.25, maybe even 8.5. I mean, this was a very good first Evolution all women's pay-per-view. They knocked it out of the park here this evening. And yeah, Becky and Charlotte stole the show like we all knew they would. I mean, what a moment for them. Nothing bad on this card whatsoever. Every match delivered in spade. Every match was like 3 stars or higher. Some could have been better. Some things could have been booked a little bit better. But other than that, I mean, this definitely goes up there in our list of top events of the year. This is definitely, I can honestly recommend the whole show. I mean, because nothing on this show was bad. There was no campy comedy nonsense. Well, maybe there was a little bit of it during the Battle Royal, but other than that, I mean, there were no cutout matches. I mean, everything was booked very well, with the exception of the NXT women's match. But other than that, I mean, applaud yourselves, ladies. 3 months ago, back on the July 23rd edition of Monday Night Raw, when Stephanie McMahon made the announcement that we were going to get this event, I mean, we were excited going into it. We had high expectations going into this, and I'm not at all surprised that they not only met our expectations, but they shattered our expectations here tonight. So, once again, you get a standing ovation from Anthony Florio here this evening. Every single woman who worked in that ring tonight, who plied their craft in that ring for our enjoyment here tonight, you all should be commended. And you should all, I wish you all nothing but blessings and so much love from this man of good faith here tonight. God bless you, ladies. Well done. Thank you for an amazing evening. The night that will never leave our hearts for as long as we live. A banner night, the world of sports with this, and of course the other big story going on with MF Bullock and I will cover behind the scenes, but after we wrap up here. So, oh, what a moment. So, applaud yourselves, ladies. You deserve a moment. So, would I have a problem with this becoming an annual event going forward? Absolutely not. Here's to Evolution 2019. 8 1/4, 8.5 out of 10. Well done. MF, I mean, starting to get a little bit emotional, my friend.
It was one of those nights that we'll never forget. It was a happening that, you know, when it was first announced, it was a powerful message for not only women in WWE, but women wrestling around the world. And it evolved into this event, to Evolution. And I heard a lot of the naysayers talking about, why are you putting it in New York? Why are you putting it in Long Island? Nassau Coliseum is one of the worst buildings to put it in. Then you hear there wasn't enough build for the show. Where was the build going into this? So a lot of people were already questioning the lead up to Evolution, and a lot of people were worried about that this event was going to be a train wreck. And at the end of the night, it not only delivered, it you could probably say it's better than a lot of the pay-per-views we've seen this year. It has to be one of the top pay-per-views of the year, in my opinion. So without a doubt, it deserves the 8 1/4 rating. This is an amazing show. Well done by everybody. And I got really nothing more to say. So Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
You gave it 8 1/4. Is that what you said, Fletch?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. This was an 8 1/4 out of 10. I mean, this was a very, very good Evolution pay-per-view here. I mean, yeah, I mean, so many people criticized the location of the event, all the stuff, the build-up, and all that. And many people thought this pay-per-view was going to be a train wreck and disaster. Well, my message to those who said that, I think it's time for all you guys to eat that slice of humble pie after all the negative things you said, because this was a tremendous show, no doubt about it. So nothing more to say. Let's just put it on this historic night.
And that we will, because this wraps up our special edition of the Wrestling Forum. I want to thank our panel of guests again, and thank you, Fletch, for hosting tonight, and for Anthony hosting, or providing the channel to host for both nights. And thank you again for letting me do this. And until tomorrow, guys, when we all return back over on Florio's channel for Ridiculously Raw, this is Dee Dee Woodson saying goodnight to you all in behalf of Florio, Flecha, and Bullock, and even in spirits, Derek Ferrero. Thank you. Good night.